Hello, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, my name is Rosalia, and welcome to my world once again. I am here to share with you a little girl's purse bag that I made out of a skirt. And this skirt was my little grand's skirt at one time when she was, what, 3 years old, and she's going on 5 next month. So I saved these little skirts. And what I do to them is very, very basic. Anybody can do this. This is why I wanted to share this with grandmas out there. There's very little sewing. Mothers out there that I encourage you to save their little skirts, their tiny little skirts. Look how small this is. And basically, what I've done with this particular skirt, since it had this pleated end here, all I did was hot glue it. I hot glued this one here because the sewing would have been a little too much for my sewing machine. So I hot glued it closed at the end. How easy is that, right? And then again, also, you know what I encourage you all to do is save their little shirts. Look how cute these little shirts are. And what I do with them is that I cut the top piece. Also, you have to be careful to measure it from side to side so it can fit the skirt. If you have to cut it, sew it and then cut the edge just to fit it, hey, there's a little sewing behind that. But I like to put a lining on mine. So what I did is what I do because I've got one in that I'm gonna do is I use their little t-shirts. Look how cute this is. I'm gonna cut this top piece, and this will be a lining. This is a lining, and this will be a lining. Okay, so save those cute little tops. And also, what you do is, now this was a t-shirt of hers. Can you believe that? A t-shirt of hers. And all I do is cut it out, make sure that it's going to fit the bag, sew the bottom, and then what I do is just hand sew. Can you imagine, your daughter saving this bag that you made for your little grand, for her little daughter? You saved this bag, and you've got grandma's hand-stitched bag. So I hand-stitched this all the way around. So that's why I'm saying when you make it, just make sure that you cut the side so that everything fits and you don't have to pleat it or anything like that. Well, maybe you could pleat it. But this is her little skirt. So, and this is the back. This is the back. What I did, I used the skirt as it was. I did sew this up here, hand stitch this up over here. And then I took and piece of fabric. I was doing something with this. I had it for a long time. And I made a strip and made it into a belt, to go around, a sachet or whatever they call them. But anyway, and I knotted it here. I also used these chains. They were just wonderful. And look at that, hanging from this end right there. You see that? And it hangs from the back also. Looks really nice. And then what I took was, I took a t-shirt. Check this out, people. A t-shirt. Now, this is my daughter's t-shirt, the mother of my grand. I kind of estimated around an inch, cut the t-shirt this way. Okay, I went ahead and cut that seam off. So I went ahead and cut the seam off real quick here, and cut this seam off because the t-shirt has seam on both sides. And then what you do, and it's about an inch, if anything, about an inch. And then what you do is just when you pull it, it becomes like a tube. It comes like a tube, okay? Really, really easy. So then what you do, you take that tube and you tie it to one of the belt loops, and then you have this hanging. And then I took buttons, just the buttons. You thread it through. Just thread it through. You don't even have to make a knot there or anything because it's kind of tight there. So you take and you thread it through, and you do as many as you like. And all I did was I tied it up over here. One at a time, I tied it up. You can even make a braid, whatever. You can put beads, having a hole that's big enough. Put a bead through it, anything you like. And then I took a couple of them, and all I did was just knot it, the bottom. I can even knot another one over here, make a knot up here. Okay, I could just knot it if I want to. And that hangs and it makes that little noise there. All of these things, I tell you, that's just how easy this is. You all can do this. You all can do this. These are iron-on appliques. these, you just iron them on. Oh, this one is coming off of those. I got to iron that a little bit there. But just iron them on. And then you take this glue here, the metallic fabric. Okay, the fabric kind of paint or something. But Michael's, Joann's, they have these. And then you just, this was, you know, some stitching over here. Like, this is the natural stitching. It was already there. It was already there. But I took the front and I just followed it, and I did it with that fabric glue. I did that across there. I did a little more of glitter right over here on these belt loops here. And I took another chain and I threw in some of these findings by, I think it's Blue Moon that has these. They're doing a lot of the steampunk stuff. And these keys were there, and they were just beautiful, so I just hung a few there. I took this here, and this is an iron-on. I'm telling you, everything is pretty much iron-on. Iron this on all the way around. Look how nice that turned out. Okay, just iron it on. These are iron-ons. This is the piece of the same fabric that I drew out an S. And what I did was I ironed on a iron-on interfacing. And then after I drew it in and all and I cut it, then I did hot glue to put it down. And then I covered it. You see the glitter? I went ahead and used a glitter glue. And then just put these little pieces, you know, flower and bling bling to it right there, because her name is Savi, so we had a little S there. This came with the skirt, and did I put the glue? Yep, I dotted it with the glue, with that metallic stuff in pink. Actually, I have this red one or pink one, okay? And it had a little shimmer. Let me bring you to this area here. This is, you know, quilters do this kind of stuff. They take the dyes, and they cut fabric. So what I did with this is that I ironed on, you see the back? I ironed on, look at the back, it has the iron-on interfacing. Once you iron on the interfacing, you can take it through your die cuts. And this die cut that I used was the Tim Holtz, here it is right here, the Tim Holtz Tattered Flowers. I mean, okay, it cuts all of those. So what I did was see, that's the interfacing. I glued every little piece on. I glued it and I put a little glue glitter to it. It has glue glitter on. I don't know if you can see that. I can't see it here. Okay. And I hot glued it to the skirt. Look how cute that turned out. Out of those, out of the scrap fabric, put some iron-on interface and take it through your die, and you get all these flowers. Look how beautiful these are. I don't know what I'm going to do. Put it as brochure pins on your hairband, stuff like that. These are the appliques that I've used over here, iron-on, and really easy. So, you know, there go your iron-on interfacing, put it down, and then this piece here, I'm going to go ahead and take it through the die, because I can get some small flowers out of this piece. So every scrap really counts. And then this is the negative of it. Again, I do have a video on using your negatives, your die negatives, and cutting them out like this. I did it with the fabric. Look how nice that turned out. So, and also here, this is another piece of fabric that I had. I made a dress out of this a long time ago for myself, and these are pieces of scraps. Look at the straps. What I did here, look how nice and fancy that looks. I just took it around the loop, okay, and then sewed it in the back by hand, and then I tacked on a button. Look how cute that is. Different buttons. And in the back too, I have buttons, and these buttons are the same color as the strap here, so it kind of complements it. This is glitter glue over here. So again, just this is glitter glue over here, and you do whatever you like. Look how beautiful that bag. And this is going to be her birthday. Her birthday is coming up in December. This is one of her birthday presents, and I'm going to do another one for her for Christmas, and I have to quickly show you. I thought I had it out, but let me quickly show you. This is just a starter. This is a t-shirt of hers, by the way, a t-shirt of hers that I took apart already. Again, look at the little tubes. Look how I used them over here. Look how lovely. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. This is her mother's t-shirt again. Her mom's t-shirt. Can you imagine? You've got to do this, people. And I stitched her shirt inside, so it has the lining already. You have to do this. So, and I'm not even done. And all I did with this was sewed it across twice, right there, right over here, down there, and then put the lining in. Again, I measured it. I'm a seamstress, so you know it's easy for me to say, right? But just make sure that it matches so that you don't have to do all these little folds and everything. But oh my God! And I didn't have to alter the skirt whatsoever. I didn't have to. The skirt came just like that. This was one of her skirts. Can you imagine what I'm gonna do with this? Yes, you can, because you can do it also. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that this, and it's, you know, what cost is this? I mean, this is just beautiful from a grandmother, from your mother, to make such a beautiful piece of a bag. And it's one of a kind, because I will not be able to duplicate this. I don't want to anyway. It's a one of a kind. So I hope that this video inspires you to make these little skirts. Find a way where if you don't sew, that you can use hot glue, that you can use some kind of fabric glue to get and achieve what you want. Thank you so much. I hope you have fun watching this, and I hope I do inspire you. Please stay tuned, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.